The story begins with a character known as Le Chiffre, though it's immediately clear that this is our old acquaintance Wu Zimu, discussing with someone about how he has been sponsoring so-called freedom fighters for quite some time. The other person responds by saying that he wants everything to be as safe as possible and to have the ability to do it from anywhere in the world. Before moving forward, I should mention that I haven't seen the original movie, so I'll be learning the plot through this modification. Please bear with me. Suddenly, we are transported to Las Venturas, where a crowd is jeering at a poor homeless man and a dialogue begins, which I will fully recount. Oh, and by the way, Carl Johnson is white in this version. Get used to it. In the 2000s, people seemed to dislike the original protagonist, and there was always an attempt to change him. Back in 2009, I even installed Niko Bellic instead of CJ, although those mods were like this, and like that, and even like this. How's the situation? A black man with a burn mark seems like our client. So terrorists can get burned too. I don't understand what that emoji is doing here. Get your hand off your ear. What? I said, get your hand off your ear. I can't hear you. And now, after such a fantastic dialogue that honestly left me confused, we are released into the open world, where we're immediately told to pursue a terrorist. Let me clarify that if we get too close or try to hit him, nothing will happen. The mission won't fail, and he is essentially invincible. So the only thing we can do is run after him. Thankfully, the location he's heading to isn't too far away. While James Bond, in the body of CJ, is playing a high-speed chase with a terrorist, I'll tell you how I discovered this modification. Originally created in 2006 by someone using the nickname Conrad, about whom I couldn't find much information online. The mod later gained popularity thanks to a company called NeoGame. They began including it in their game compilation discs, which could feature up to 7 different modifications on one disc. These ranged from simple car replacement mods for GTA Vice City to more elaborate projects like the one I'm showing you now. Back then, these discs were widely available in stores that sold video games, often for as little as 100 rubles. That's how I first stumbled upon this particular mod. The moment we reach the Las Venturas police department, we finally get permission to take down the terrorist who's surprisingly protected by other terrorists. Once the mission is completed, players encounter a nearly empty city with barely any vehicles around. This could be due to the mod developer potentially damaging certain game files, leading to the complete disappearance of city traffic. Interestingly, I'm currently playing an enhanced version of the mod that first launched in 2016. Here's an interesting detail. The same mod was also released for the mobile version of GTA San Andreas in 2023. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to locate the original version I played in 2009. Here's how it used to look. The most significant improvement in this updated mod version is the removal of the persistent James Bond main theme that used to play on repeat regardless of your location. This theme would haunt you constantly, whether you are walking, driving, or even flying across the map. The second mission begins with complaints directed at James Bond, regarding a shooting at the embassy, where he only took out a mere pawn. Now they have no idea who is funding the terrorists. James Bond counters that eliminating even one bomb maker is still a positive. In the next scene, James Bond has already left, and Miss M starts a phone conversation with an agent, mentioning that Bond somehow teleported to the Bahamas and accessed a restricted website using their login and password. This revelation leaves the people on the line bewildered about how he obtained such information. However, they conclude that James Bond is after an individual named Alex Dimitrios and his associates, presumably including Le Chiffre, and with that, the phone call ends. James from the Bahamas is teleported back to Las Venturas and ordered to keep an eye on Dimitrios. Let me tell you, this guy is just as immortal and fearless as our enemy from the first mission. After I help James reach the right spot, we get to witness their conversation, which eventually leads to us taking down Dimitrios. Suddenly, we're given a new urgent order: destroy the truck at all costs. And how exactly am I supposed to pull that off? I figure the truck can hang out on the runway for a bit. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. Meanwhile, I might as well stock up on weapons. Something tells me we'll need them later. Weird though, why don't they have any serious firepower here? Besides the missions, you'll find everything that was present in the original game: purchasing homes, shopping for clothes, and visiting barber shops. That said, none of those aspects are as crucial as the missions introduced in this mod. Yes, the game crashed, and I didn't save in that house I bought. Looks like I'll have to start everything all over again. The third mission begins, and it turns out that Mr. Dimitrios was just a middleman who could find the best people and weapons as long as he got paid. However, his connection to Le Chiffre apparently means something significant, or at least that's what they say. Frankly, I suspect most of the murders in this mod happen without any real reason. But let me tell you about Le Chiffre. He's a secretive banker for terrorists worldwide, a brilliant chess player, and a mathematical genius. On top of that, he's Albanian. This impressive character loves to prove his superiority through poker games. Not only did he play with other people's money on the stock market, but he also lost $100 million due to miscalculations. To cover these losses, he organized a high-stakes poker tournament at Casino Royale. If you think this is just my interpretation, no. This is actually a condensed version of the mission's opening dialogue. Just look at James Bond's situation. He flew all the way from Las Venturas just to hear this remarkable conversation, then had to fly back to beat him in poker. The plan was to make him lose everything so he'd have nowhere left to run. I'm your wallet. My name is Miss Lind. Our agency sponsors your game. I hope you understand that if you play, it might appear as if the government is funding terrorists. James Bond seems unfazed by this information, especially since he just made a rough landing nearby. Did you think we were going to play poker now? Yeah, right. Let's watch another cutscene first. We are introduced to a new character named René Matisse, who is presented as our contact. It turns out that Le Chiffre arrived in town yesterday and immediately began restoring old connections. Most importantly, he has befriended the local police chief. James Bond quickly points out that this could complicate things and potentially shorten someone's life. Initially, they wanted to buy him off, but they don't have as much money as Le Chiffre. So, they decided to frame him by slipping incriminating photos of him taking bribes to his deputy. Amazing what Photoshop can do, isn't it? Wait, was that dialogue actually in the movie or was it added by the mod developer? Right away, I'll say that we won't be playing poker in this mission either. We'll just drive to the casino and the mission will end almost as soon as it begins. At least you can save the game because this thing crashes literally every 10 minutes of gameplay. Friends, the poker mission has finally begun. Here we are told that each of the players has deposited $10 million into their accounts, and then during the game we will have to deposit 5 million more. Hey, where to? Where's the screen going dark? What do you mean? Where the fuck is the game? What fucking 4 hours are they playing for? What fucking break? Are you kidding me? I'm playing a mod called Casino Royale for the sake of just watching cutscenes in the casino. It seems clear that we're not going to see a decent game of poker today. Instead, James Bond decides to invite Miss Lind up to his room, probably to blow off some steam after such a frustrating round of poker. But hold on. A plot twist. We don't go to Bond's room. Instead, we end up heading toward Le Chiffre's suite. As we approach, we hear shouting, and moments later, two individuals armed with bizarre-looking knives emerge and lunge at Bond. Once Bond takes them down, it becomes apparent that these attackers were angry clients of Le Chiffre. It looks like he lost their money and they came seeking answers or revenge. But seriously, why did Bond have to kill them? Couldn't he have disarmed them or something? Anyway, the mission mission is suddenly marked as complete. Honestly, I still don't fully understand what the point of all this was, but hey, at least we scored a pretty sweet knife. Now we get to roam around an eerily deserted city with it. Not exactly thrilling, but I guess it's better than nothing. Take a look at this massive AK-47. If you were to place its stock on the ground, it would probably stand as tall as our very own James Bond. In the meantime, a fresh mission unfolds with a new cinematic scene taking place in a casino. The game prompts me to try my luck at roulette, but no matter how many times I hit the buttons, the minigame refuses to launch. As far as the cutscene goes, it's pretty uneventful. Le Chiffre and James Bond lock eyes, purchase a royal flush, and just like that, Mr. Bond emerges victorious. But hold on, things take a dark turn. Lind congratulates us on our win and heads off to meet René Matisse, setting the stage for what promises to be the heist of the century. Next, we're off to the opposite side of town, where Lind is left stranded on a deserted road, completely unguarded. It seems James Bond has taken a beating and Mr. Le Chiffre is quick to pin the blame on René Matisse. Before we know it, we're magically transported to a hangar at an abandoned airport. Once again, the two adversaries lock eyes, and Le Chiffre demands the handover of the winnings. But Mr. Bond stands firm, declaring that Le Chiffre won't get a penny. He warns that betrayed clients will soon come knocking, leaving Le Chiffre with no escape. Yet, Le Chiffre appears unfazed, even threatening to eliminate us while boasting that intelligence agencies will embrace him warmly. Out of nowhere, Mr. Killer makes his entrance. He declares that in his line of work, honesty among partners outweighs money. And just like that, he takes out both of us. Game over, folks. Or so it seems. Turns out it's not quite the end, much to our disappointment. We've finally reached the final mission of this modification. James Bond calls Mr. Mandel and tells him that he can't access his account. It turns out all the money has been transferred to another account, and someone is currently withdrawing the entire sum. Alright, let's go figure out what's going on here. I'll kill her. Please do us a favor. Don't even ask me about what you're seeing right now. I still have no idea what I'm playing or what's happening. But fine, let's quickly deal with these criminals. And just like that, we've been teleported to the beach in Los Santos, and now there aren't even any subtitles. The game simply instructs us to kill two people, and then maybe we'll see something interesting. And speaking of interesting, here comes the death of Lind. She just falls into the water and apparently drowns. The game even announces it. Lind will drown, while James Bond continues saving the world. And that's it. That's the whole modification. No more missions. And people actually paid real money for mods like this back in the day. If this video gets enough views, next time I'll show you another one of these bizarre mods. Luckily, I've got plenty more. See you next week.